Hey Chad, hopping back on here to do a video. This time it's a contest response to Kim C's 100 subs contest. If you're not aware of Kim C's channel, you should definitely check it out. It's one of my favorite vinyl community channels for sure. What I really like about Kim's channel is, she's a young person. It makes me sound really old to say that, but she is, and she shows a lot of new stuff, which is exciting because I do try to keep up with a lot of new music. I buy a lot of recent releases, so it's kind of cool to see someone that actually shows new stuff, because a lot of the people in the vinyl community are showing older stuff, which is cool too, because I buy that too. But Kim's sort of my go-to person when it comes to new stuff. It's good to see her, because it's always good to see her videos, because you're going to see a lot of cool new stuff that's coming out, and bands that you may not have heard, or bands you may have missed. I've been turning to do a lot of great stuff from her channel, so I just really like her videos. And I held a contest a while back. She actually won one of my contests, so always really enjoyed her stuff, and her record story videos are always really good. So anyway, we've been vibing for a long time on here, and I saw she was holding a contest, and 100 subs are definitely deserved, so congratulations on that. And great contest idea, great prizes. The Sun Kill Moon Benji LP, that's just insane that you're giving that away. That's, if I win, Kim, that's what I want for sure, the Sun Kill Moon, because that's crazy. I slept on the pre-order. I didn't get it because I thought it would be more widely pressed, and it's not, and it's just an insanely good freaking album. So that I would have made a contest response anyway, just because I like Kim's channel, but that's insane. So anyway, let's get to it. First question was things that which this is cool. I'm surprised no one has ever done this before, but the first question is something that you would like to see pressed on vinyl, something that needs to be pressed on vinyl, either because it's out of print, or the pressing was too small, or whatever. And that's a really awesome question, because as vinyl collectors, we all have our list of those. And I only have one thing to show, but I'm going to mention a few other things. But first thing I want to show that should be repressed is, this is a dope thrown by the band Electric Wizard. Electric Wizard is a English stoner metal band, I guess you could say. This is just an amazing album, one of the best of the genre as far as stoner metal goes, for sure. I'm right up there with Sleep, Dope Smoker. It doesn't really get much better than this. It's surprisingly accessible for people that want to get into that genre. This is one of the best records, one of my favorite metal records ever. It's not insanely hard to find, but I mean, if you do find it, you're going to spend about 40 or 50 bucks. Which, I've spent that much on records before, but there's no reason really for it to be that expensive. I mean, it could be a good $24.99, something like that, and it's hard to find. I mean, you do have to, if you go to eBay to get it, or find it, you don't really see it out in the wild much at all. So it's just something that I do have on CD that I would like to own on vinyl, that could use a repressing. Someone could redo it. So yeah, Electric Wizard, Dope Throne. Again, not the hardest thing to find. Some other ones I wanted to mention, though, that I don't even have the CD, because, I don't really like CDs anymore, as far as if I'm going to buy something physically. In my car, I can listen to Spotify. I subscribe to the premium service of Spotify, so I can just stream that through my car. So there's really, and at home I listen to vinyl, so there's really no reason to buy CDs anymore. So I've not bought these on CDs, but I'd love to have these on vinyl. I definitely agree with Kim on the Mars Volta, Francis the Mute. That needs to be repressed, and at an affordable price, because they just repressed Do Lost in the Cormatorium and something else, and it was like 55 bucks. I mean, that's silly. It's just silly. It's like that needs to be repressed at an affordable rate. And also, the new My Bloody Valentine record that came out like a year and a half, I agree with you, Loveless needs to be repressed. And I actually used to own Loveless, and I traded it or something stupid. I don't even know why I did that. I used to actually have that one like 5 years ago. Who trades that? I don't even know what I was thinking. But the new My Bloody Valentine, the import's like 45 bucks. That's stupid. That should be like, there's no reason for it to be that much, because it's it's a single LP, and the artwork. I mean, I understand it's an import, but I mean, there's just really no reason for it to be that much money. So yeah, the new My Bloody Valentine should be a little bit more affordable. Repressed, the Francis the Mute, a few others. Ashra Temple. If you're not familiar with Ashra Temple, the krautrock band, their stuff's just way out of print. It's going for $200 or $300. The first few LPs. I think that'd be a great project for Four Men with Beards. That if they did Ashra Temple's reissues, I'm sure they've tried. I'm sure there's some sort of copyright licensing issues, but that'd be great. Those are insanely good records, and you're looking at between $300 and $700. I'm sure some people in the vinyl community have those, but I would love to own the Ashra Temple records. Also, the Aphex Twin album, Drux, the one that came out in 2001. That's the only one that Warp is not repressed yet. It's going for about $300 or $400. One of my favorite Aphex Twin albums. Have all the others, but that one's just. I'm sure Warp will get around to repressing that. But yeah, those are the ones I'd like to see repressed. Ashra Temple, Aphex Twin, Francis the Mute, My Bloody Valentine. You know, I kind of tap out at around $34.99 is maybe the most I'll pay for something new. That's not. I mean, again, I've paid a lot of money for records before, but it's hard to justify anything over about $30 for something new. There's just really no need for it. Older stuff, it's hard to find. That's another thing. But anyway, let's move on. Second question. I spent 6 minutes on the first question. That's not good because I have 2 more questions to go. These next 2 should go a little bit quicker. Music that meant a lot to you in high school. I've sort of talked about this before on the channel, but one of the aspects of this, I'm going to tell 2 stories. The other story I've not told. The first story I have told, and that's this record right here. This is The Strokes' Is This It? From 2001, which I can't remember what record label this is on. RCA, I guess. This is The Strokes' debut LP. Why did this mean a lot to me in high school? Well, I gotta be honest. You know, I'm not really from an all that musical family. Very much into sports in high school until you actually had to try out for the team, and then I got cut because I was a very horrible athlete. I had no athletic ability. So anyway, point being, music wasn't really my thing. I didn't know what was good music, what was not good music. I didn't have an older sibling to tell me this is cool. Then my friends were into music, so I'm going to be honest, you know, I was sort of into rap metal. I was into Limp Bizkit, all that Korn, all that stuff, just what was ever on MTV. I didn't really have any refined taste at this point in high school. I remember one day I stayed out of school for some reason. I think I really was sick. I don't think I was faking it. I was like a sophomore in high school. And believe it or not, that was actually 2000, 2001, when MTV would actually still play videos. And that's how you saw music. Again, that's in the earlier ages of the internet. And I mean, the internet had been around, but it was nothing like it was today. So anyway, you would watch MTV for music videos. This is sort of a history lesson for younger people. But anyway, Strokes video for Last Night came on. And it just felt like a bucket of cold water on my face. It was, if you've never seen the Last Night video, you should YouTube it. It's basically just a very straightforward performance video, very raw. Roman Coppola directed the video, and it's just it's nothing amazing as far as the video goes, but you got to keep it in context when you're seeing all these Limp Bizkit, Korn videos, all this stuff with this type of sound. This just slapped me right in the face. It was raw, it was performance-based, it looked like it was from 1973 or something like that, and the song was catchy, and it just felt real, and it really changed things for me. It did, and I bought this album, the CD, and it just blew me away. It was the most raw sounding stuff, and I wore this album out. It meant so much to me, and I can't explain it. I guess it's similar to when people in the early 90s were listening to hair metal, and the Smells Like Teen Spirit video came on. That's sort of what the Last Night did for me 10 years later in 2001. It really broke down barriers, and I never really looked back on that other stuff. The other records that meant a lot to me in high school were, after I got into music, I became friends with a guy who was actually a year younger than me, and he was such a cool guy. I mean, he was way cooler than me, and he was younger than me. And we were talking about music, and we were doing stuff, and he somehow he gave me a list of albums that, like his favorite albums or something like that. And I went and checked them out. Got them all, got the CDs, and it just blew me away. It was like, if you ever read that book, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, I've never seen the movie. There's a scene in that book where Charlie, the character, goes to a teacher gives him a list of books. It's like On the Road by Kerouac, Naked Lunch by Burroughs, Catcher in the Rye, all these books. And it sort of changes everything for him, because it's like he's reading all these books. And it was sort of like that for me, where, again, I didn't really have a lot of access to these older records or knew what was good and what wasn't. I was into the Strokes and things like that. And this guy gave me a list of like 10 records, and they just, again, no looking back, just addicted after that point. And some of the records on the list were, again, never heard of these bands before this. Joy Division, Unknown Pleasures. I had never heard of them before, and it just, again, one of my favorite records of all time. This one, too, The Cramps, The Song the Lord Taught Us. Wow. I mean, just pure punk, punkabilly, psychobilly. This just, I listened to this hundreds of times in high school, this record. And it felt like the greatest kept secret in the world. No one knew what this was. Bad Brains, self-titled album, was on the list. Talking Heads, Fear of Music, also on there. Again, this was sort of before the Talking Heads revival, but everyone likes them now. They're on every list. Just incredible stuff. And the last one I'll show out of that 5, Elvis Costello. This is Armed Forces. I think the one on his list was actually My Name Is True, which is an incredible record. I don't have that on vinyl, but it was, again, Elvis Costello, just the angry voice, the angry delivery. Really identify with those records. And I think there was a No Effects record on there, a Bad Religion record, some stuff like that as well. But those are 5 that I had, Elvis Costello, Talking Heads, Bad Brains, The Cramps, Joy Division. I just feel so blessed to have had a friend who, when I was 16 years old, gave me a list of all those bands on it. I felt like the coolest guy in the world just to have that music. And lastly, Kim asked for some of our coolest colored vinyl. I don't have anything really insane. The 2 I wanted to show, this is a Touche Amore, Survived By, which was actually my favorite record last year. And this isn't crazy colored vinyl, but I think it's just a beautiful colored vinyl. It's just a sort of a robin's egg blue. I've never seen that on. I've seen a lot of blue records, but they're usually like a royal blue. This is just a gorgeous shade of blue, which it really matches the cover of that album. And I love that record so much. It's just kind of cool to have it on that. I just really like that shade of blue. So that stood out. And the other record, which I thought was kind of cool as far as never seen anything like this before. It's not really all that pretty or crazy, but I just thought it was a cool idea, especially for a hip-hop album, to do, and I've never seen it. I'm sure it's probably been done before, but this is Sisyphus, the Sufjan Stevens hip-hop side project that came out earlier this year. But how cool is this of an idea for a hip-hop LP? It's graffitied. It's colored with graffiti, sort of spray paint gold there. That's kind of cool. I think hip-hop albums, it's a cool idea to sort of have a tagged vinyl. So I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, there's a lot cooler, splattered vinyl, tie-dye vinyl out there. The color I really want to see is brown vinyl. I've never seen a brown colored vinyl record. A lot of white, ton of white. White is almost the new black as far as you see. When it's colored vinyl, odds are it's going to be white. You see a lot of red. I've seen quite a bit of green, especially like marijuana green. That's kind of popular. Yellow, I've seen a lot of yellow, a lot of blue. But yeah, never any. I've seen some orange. But I've never seen a brown colored vinyl. I'm sure it's been done. I see a lot of purple. So that just made kind of cool. I like the color brown. But anyway, this is a bit of a rambling response. But anyway, good luck, Kim. Continued success on your YouTube channel. Thank you for doing this, and I wish you all the luck in the world. Thank you.